Good morning, Internet. They put out the Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory final trailer just now. I'm really excited. I refreshed YouTube in the hope that we get the English one. It's here. Let's get started.
As the fierce struggle ended, Master Xehanort gave up the Keyblade and Kingdom Hearts was sealed away. But it was still far from over.
That's a good setup. Alright, so we get to experience an all-new journey through music and memory. Look at all these things! Oh man, we got chat. Oh man, they're actually showing proper menus and letting you, like, look at them. Let people, like, dig through this a little bit, which we will do after this. Oh, nice. There actually are going to, you don't have to worry. Some of the later songs that came out that weren't using the old KH engine will actually be present in some of this. That was one of my concerns. I do hope we get some KH3 tracks in here. There are a lot of them that I would love to play on this, because the only one we've seen so far is Let It Go. Oh, this is so dope! Oh, there we go. We get to see other playable characters. It was mainly just holding out, seeing some gameplay. The Birth by Sleep crew mainly, since they were the one group we hadn't seen yet. Dark Zone. Oh, it's because it's Kyrie's theme. They're just like running through FMVs for like, different moments with her. That's neat. Oh, yes. Hearing them hit to the notes just kills me. It makes my brain feel good. Oh god, Chirithy narrates online battles. I'm gonna put that stupid cat thing into the water. Collect materials to synthesize songs and items. This is oh man, they're flashing through this stuff real quick. We're gonna come back and look at this stuff in a minute. All the new assets they made for this is great.
I'm afraid such mysteries are beyond our comprehension.
Maybe Mickey or Master Yen Sid knows.
Any news?
Yeah, we got any news? Got anything going on? What happens after this? Nothing! That's what happened! Give me a stinger, please. Hey, look! Stuff! Sora! Alright, there we go. Well, that's it. Let's roll through this trailer again. Or we're gonna go through it slowly, bit by bit, but that part doesn't really matter too much. In fact, we'll skip the copyrighted part here, and we will start right from here. So, we got a world map, and what do we see at the start here? We got Hollow Bastion, End of the World. What is that? I'm like hunching over here. Okay, that looks to be the chamber that you fight Riku Ansem in during the big climax of the story, the big Kyrie's inside me moment. So that's fucking awesome. So it looks like that's just going through the entirety of the end game of KH1. And what do we got up here? This is... Oh, okay, so that's destroyed Destiny Islands where you fight Ansem. There's Twilight Town, there's Castle Oblivion. So you really are just going through the main story of the games in order. So it's another way to get through the plot of the games. But unlike, say, a Chain of Memories or a Recoded, they're recapping more than one game. They're recapping several. So that's exciting. So you go through that. I like that you go off another path to Chain of Memories, but you keep going to get to KH2. There's multiple different Twilight Towns. This one, 2 songs cleared, Writhing Shards 18. And then we see you've collected 12 green stars. Ooh. That stuff's all that's interesting. We'll click it. and it's working together. So I'm thinking that first Twilight Town is going to do Lazy Afternoons, because that's the Roxas simulated Twilight Town track. And then this one is the Sora Twilight Town track. And then you got missions that give you stars, clear with 50% HP or more without items, defeat 60% or more aerial enemies, hit all ability crystals on that or that difficulty, which I think those will be standard or proud. Trophies already came out for the game. Nothing spoilery in them at all. Just aside from stuff like beat bosses, use your teams, that type of thing. Nothing that you could glean story stuff from. Oh, difficulties are right here. So you can see like beginner, standard, proud. Got your high score set up. This right here, this team setup, I'm hoping that means you can like switch up teams or something. Though I think the tabs will denote what you can do with them here. Be interesting to see how that goes. Items, I don't know if you bring these with you. These are the ones you collect for this thing. Thinking this in general might be just you setting up your loadout for when you go in. It'll be interesting to see like the need for items. And then you do the field battles. Oh, I see. So if you go down the track here, and I'm really bad at seeking through short videos. You come up on this crystal, right? And you hit triangle in the beat. It's excellent, and then you do an ability. So Sora will do Thundaga. He's gonna hit like that aerial enemy. So they make it so that there's some enemies that you will not come close enough to on the track, so you gotta get the ability stuff so that you can pop them off. This was Wave of Darkness, and it's like the destroyed Destiny Islands. Makes sense. This is good because it means that maybe we'll get some Kingdom Hearts 3 tracks that try to use some of the older maps, I hope, so it's not all the flying through the area stuff. But yeah, that's neat. It looks like they have a custom HUD for all of these. Yeah, definitely. We got Savannah Pride for Pride Lands. Vim and Vigor for Land of Dragons makes a lot of sense. That's the first time you hear that in KH2. We got Hollow Bastion stuff going in. And then we see this team. We see Team Riku. Team Riku is just Dream Drop Distance Riku. Rolling in with Meow Wow Komori Bat. So that's neat. I wonder if they do this. This means that whenever you're covering this type of thing, it would be interesting that Melody of Memory is like, this is it's Kyra going through memories, but it's other characters also assisting. Like, I wouldn't be shocked. It's like they bring in Riku comes in and he helps with this chunk of the story for these songs, and maybe they bring in one of the Days crew and then one of the BBS crew to do something. It'll be interesting to see how they like justify, because gameplay is always justified through story in these, where it's like bad shit happens to Sora regularly to explain why he will be level 1. There's always that going on. So that's cool. God, these maps just look really, really dope. I noticed Roxas jumps away from a thing. Okay, so he's hitting up. He's hitting up so that he can hit certain notes and stuff. This all looks really, really nice. Really, really impressed with the presentation on that. Alright, so they showed 2 gameplay styles there. They show the boss fight, but it looks like you guard something. So let's start from the very beginning of the clip. Yeah, it looks like one of 2 things there. So it looks like either they did a command before they cut to this clip that lets you do the guard, or you just have free movement when this visual track with notes is not on screen. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes, because the boss battles do seem to be the big thing for the game in terms of like the most thrilling looking gameplay. So far we've seen Maleficent, the trophy for fighting bosses in this game was demoted with Ansem Seeker of Darkness, and Xemnas was shown in the first trailer. So it looks like we'll have some good fights in here. Hoping they have a decent amount of them. Would be pretty nice. Of course, we have these, which I think they called them memory dives, which is what they're specifically calling this type of track video. Then of course you got your co-op stuff, which this looks really great. Seeing them do all their different skills here. Then you have your online versus battles, which, as far as I can tell, let's look through this real quick. It looks like you have a trick bar and you have stuff here. I'm imagining like you fill the bar and then this stuff will then shoot off to the opponent. So let's look from the start. Okay, so he has these two. So if the trick bar fills, I think these will shoot there. Unless them cycling through on the sides meant that they aren't doing that. Let's see. Question mark, skull. Okay, so it seems like it is in fact random. Oh wait, no, I see interference and skull is here, so it may just straight up denote these here. Okay, that does make a bit more sense. And the interference is like, oh, these guys like crash into the screen and stuff. So that's interesting. And then you have like harsh judge, which I imagine is like you have to hit the note perfectly. Tiny targets and vanishing enemies, that would be a nightmare. I hope the online's good, because if it is, this game it just starts popping off if that all comes together. So we have the synthesis menu. So it has memory dives for... Oh, okay. So it looks like they're making memory dives for pretty much every character theme. So Sora, Riku, Kairi, Roxas, Naminé, Xion, Terra, and Ventus. So that on its own is really cool. It seems like you need to pick up their mat. Or no, that's material. Okay. So you pick up a material, which I imagine is from doing it in the story, and then you pick up this, because I think these are just so you can play them. I think. This is also in the team menu, so I'm wondering if some of these songs you end up playing in gameplay have to be unlocked, or, as an optional thing, or if they're part of the main story the whole way. Either way, I'm playing them, so we'll see. But that's good. We definitely know this how they're doing it, because they already showed you Kairi one in this trailer. And you pick up materials from doing well in the things, and all the new assets and like different, menu presentation here is great. I imagine they've been working on this game for well over maybe a year and a half, maybe 2 years by the end, because it feels like they put a lot of work into this. You get to view a collection of stuff there. Collection, which is like all your general stuff. Story archive's going to be previous scenes from other games, looks like. Theater for the main cutscenes for the story. Jukebox, of course. Records. Story archive I'm interested in, because they and Nomura put out in a tweet, it's like, this is a good recap of the series for you. And it looks like it might be, actually, because they had the memory archive in Kingdom Hearts 3 to summarize stuff, but those weren't necessary. They were like to give you a general idea of stuff and characters, their feelings, what's going on. But this is like chapters. And they have like 5 for Kingdom Hearts 1. And it's like, the beginning. Riku doing his stuff over there. The journey begins, but then it cuts here. So it's like all the main points. Like even Rechain of Memories here gets like 4 chapters on its own. Days gets a couple of them. It looks like this might be their better summaries, but it depends on presentation. I could definitely see this being the better one of this. But we shall see. Then it cuts down there. It looks like 5 chapters for KH2. They stay away from that theater with good reason. Then they show the jukebox where you can play everything. And I noticed this boot here was for the field ones. I imagine memory archives are the film ones, because these are those. So this tells you what type of track it belongs to, what type of gameplay mode it belongs to, but then you can come in here and just play it. And then, of course, they have the key art for whatever game it is, and get your little chibi icons here. All the games up there. This is, all in all, this package just looks really, really polished. Which, I think people are mainly shocked by, because they just put out KH3's DLC. And then less than 6 months afterward, they're like, yeah, here's a game coming out this year. More story. And then we get the story stuff here. That is basically nothing.
Beyond our comprehension.
Maybe Mickey or Master Yen Sid knows.
Any news?
So that stinger's pretty weak because it tells you basically nothing, but this last part here is pretty tantalizing, where it's like, oh, young Kairi gets put inside this arc thing. You remember this device at the end of KH1? Like, you go in here and it tells you about Kingdom Hearts and stuff. Well, in the mobile game, they're like, these are arcs that let you travel across world lines and stuff, and it looks like this thing's just straight up just used to send her to Destiny Islands. Probably. We get a shot of Sora there. And then, of course, the date. To wrap up, I thought I'd talk a little bit, I guess, about the general feeling I've seen a lot since the trailer, the previous trailer dropped, where like you can pre-purchase it, so people see that it's $60. And I've seen a lot of people have issues with that. And I part of me would be wanting to sympathize with people with that, but just having looked at these trailers, I'm like, this is bursting with content. There's 140 songs in a rhythm game with a pretty strong set of presentation, goals, mechanics, gameplay types, co-op multiplayer, online multiplayer. The Switch has 8-player local multiplayer. It has its story mode where there's actually things that are progressing the plot of the series in it. Though I'm expecting 2 hours or less on the full cutscene runtime of that, personally. But we'll have to see. I imagine that's why we didn't see much here in what is quote-unquote the final trailer, as they do not want to give away some of the critical chunks of this, you know. Like we gotta save something. That, or just it's fairly uneventful, but it has maybe like a secret ending cutscene. It's like, here's an idea what the next game is. We'll have to see though. Overall, this looks fantastic. You got that. You got your synthesis. You got your collection stuff. Multiple difficulties. The boss battle stuff. Everything about this just screams like, yeah, this is very easily justifying the price of entry, I think, of $60. I feel like some people would be like, I don't really feel like it does because I don't like rhythm games. And I feel like, you know, I understand that. I also think it's a little short-sighted, a little bit of like, rhythm games aren't like second-class citizens of video games here. This looks pretty damn polished, and the amount of content it seems like they're offering is absurd. Especially when you look at like something like, and I brought this up on Twitter, they put out the Persona dancing games, right? And they put out Persona 3 dancing and Persona 5 dancing. And both of those had, I think, like 40 tracks or less in their whole game. And they were $60. And they put out like 2 at the same time. And then they loaded them to the brim with DLC. And it's like, no, that's what a real cash grab is. This is them making a rhythm game. and some people just can't really cope with it, I guess. But whatever, it's a Kingdom Hearts game. This shit will be half off by probably by June of next year, most likely. So, whatever. I'm really excited for it. Bit of a bummer, comes out a couple of days earlier in Japan, so I'm gonna have to... I don't know if I'll, like, stream myself doing the Japanese version or something, or I'll just wait. At most, I'll have to, like, wait a day, because I'll probably get, like, the New Zealand version to get it as early as I can, but we'll see. Either way, I'm super excited to see what it does for the plot and stuff. I'll definitely be covering it, of course. This is my favorite series, period. But, really excited about it. We're going to end it, though. I don't want this to be 20 entire minutes of this, but I wanted to do a deep dive. Give you an idea as we watch this here after reacting to it. Be like, what are they offering you? And they're offering quite a bit. So if you're excited for it, let me know in the comments down below, all that good stuff. I'm pumped. That dearly beloved track we listened to in the previous video is bopping. Everything about this, like, this is a dream game. Finally, a Kingdom Hearts rhythm game. I've been wanting this since Theat Rhythm was announced, and it's good to see that it's getting what looks like a level of care and polish beyond even those. So that's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.